Hey everybody, this is Dean's Daily Doses trying out Beat the Q again. Hopefully we win this round.
Welcome! Come one, come all to today's spectacular second episode of Beat the Q. I'm your host, Lacey Mosley. How you guys doing tonight? Hey, Harry Zhao, Antonio Smith, I see you. Hey, Tara Bauer. Did you guys have a good day today? Let me know in the chat. Oh, me? Oh, thank you for asking. Personally, I'm feeling high as a kite because today is February 8th, also known as National Kite-Flying Day. We realized there might have been some confusion over that last question in the 5 o'clock game. Remember to pay close attention to the wording of the question. But maybe this one will be a little more clear-cut. I got you guys. To play, you need to be logged into your TopBuzz or Buzz video account by clicking the login button. If you don't have an account, creating one is real easy. Close out of this game, create an account using your Facebook, your Twitter, or Google account, and then smash that Beat the Q button and come back and play. Make sure your phone is fully charged and connected to some good Wi-Fi. Here's how Beat the Q works. I will provide you with 12 trivia questions, and you will try to answer them correctly by tapping the answer on the screen. You only have 10 seconds to answer, and no take-backs, okay? So once you choose an answer, you cannot change it. If you answer all the questions correctly, you'll win or split our grand prize. But as soon as you get a question wrong, honey, you are eliminated. Today, you'll be playing for 2,500 Arizona iced teas. I'm talking about $2,500, baby.
There we go. Today's prize, $2,500. Each round's different.
But Lacey, you say, I wish there was some way to stay in the game if I got a question wrong. If only there was a better way. Well, guess what? If you refer a friend to Beat the Q and they enter your code, you can get an extra life. And anyways, playing the game with a group of friends is way more fun.
I don't know where you enter it.
Oh, Jessica Rodriguez, I see you out there. Hey, Anthony. I'm glad you guys are having a good day. Well, your day is about to get even better. Here's your first question. Yabba Dabba Doo is the catchphrase of which cartoon character? Scooby-Doo, Pikachu, or Fred Flintstone? If you chose Scooby-Doo, you might...
I had to think about that.
If you chose Scooby-Doo, you might be thinking of his catchphrase, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Or as it's said in his native tongue, Ruby Ruby Woo. I know Rick and Morty was being ironic when it made Rick's catchphrase Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, but honestly, it's not far off. Apparently, any series of sounds counted as a catchphrase back in the day. And guys, if you voted Pikachu, come on now. Pikachu's phrase is Pikachu! That's literally the only thing he can say. The correct answer is Fred Flintstone. Congrats to everyone who got it right. And if you didn't, don't worry. You can play again tomorrow, and we've got two games at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Not to mention a $10,000 game on Sunday. Yeah, that got your attention. On to question 2. What is Nike's slogan?
Just
Swoosh, there it is. Oops, I did it again. Or just do it. Ooh, come on, guys. 10 seconds.
I did it again.
So which of these did America's best-selling athletic shoe use as its slogan? If you answered swoosh, there it is, well, swoosh, there it isn't because that ain't right. And if you picked oops, I did it again, you might be saying oops to yourself because that isn't Nike's slogan either. No, that is a very popular song by Britney Spears. The correct answer is just do it. Nike's been using this slogan since the late 80s, and it's said the inspiration for Just Do It came from notorious criminal Gary Gilmore's last words to the firing squad in 1977. Let's do it.
And see how it's not the same now?
Ooh, and it looks like over 4,000 of you guys just did. You are one question closer to beating the Q. So let's keep it going. Question 3. A constellation is a group of ships, trees, or stars.
Be right, I need the money.
Let's think about it, guys. Let's see if we can figure this one out together. So a group of ships is called a fleet, and a group of trees is called a ganja. So the answer must be stars. Yes, constellations are a group of stars that form patterns vaguely looking like animals, people, or mythical creatures. You'll remember from our last show that 12 of these stars made up the zodiac. Again, I'm a Cancer, guys. So which you can use to give meaning to your existence in the vast and lonely void of space. Ooh, and 4,000 of you guys are still in the game, shining bright like a diamond. Yes. All right, the next question is a Beatles question. Are we all spreading love and peace in the chat? Remember, the love you take is equal to the love you make. And the money you make is based on the questions that you get right here. So let's take a look at question 4. What color submarine did the Beatles all claim to live in? Yellow, dark gray, or orange? Many thought the subtext of the song about the Beatles living under pressure, submerged after becoming famous and swimming in a sea of green. I'm talking about money. But Paul McCartney insisted that it was meant to be nothing more than a catchy children's tune about a yellow submarine. Yes, yellow submarine is correct. Ooh, congratulations to everyone who got this question right. Ooh, still a whopping 3,000 of you in the game. Looks like many of you are one question closer to swimming in a sea of green. Like the Beatles sang, I get by with a little help from my friends. If you refer a friend to Beat the Q, you can get an extra life, and that means you'll get a question. If you get a question wrong, you're still in the game. For everyone still in the game, let's attack our next question. Question 5. Who discovered the law of gravity? Fig Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, or Jennifer Lawrence? Ooh, 10 seconds. So who discovered the stupid thing that keeps me from achieving my dream of flying? Well, first things first, we know it was not Fig Newton, who was credited with discovering how to be your last resort when you're looking for a snack. Similarly, it was not Jennifer Lawrence, who was a pioneer in the field of becoming America's sweetheart. That means that if you chose Sir Isaac Newton, you are correct. The legend is that young Sir Isaac Newton formed his theory of gravity while sitting under a tree and watching an apple fall from its branches, which is much better than what I did in the same situation, which was go sit somewhere else because I don't want an apple falling on my head. Anyway, let's move on. Question 6. In what part of the body is the ACL located? Wrist, knee, or brain? Where in your body can you find the ACL? Well, if you chose wrist, you may be thinking of carpal tunnel, the syndrome that you can develop after spending all day at a desk writing trivia questions. But apparently there are people called athletes who sometimes tear their ACL. So thank God it is not their brain. The correct answer is your knee. That's where your ACL is, the anterior cruciate ligament. By the way, for crucial updates on Beat the Q, connect with us on Twitter at BTQ Official. That's the letter B, the letter T, the letter Q, and the word official. BTQ Official. Oh, and it looks like a little under 3,000 of you guys are still in the game. Your knee-jerk responses were correct. Hope you're not feeling too weak in the knees to beat the Q. Question 7. What type of car was used to time travel in the Back to the Future films? DeLorean, Ferrari, or Model T?
DeLorean.
Like Doc Brown said, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style? Hello, McFly. The movie is called Back to the Future, not Back to the Turn of the Century. Using a Model T for a time machine built in 1985 is as backwards as kissing your mom when she's in high school. And while a Ferrari could easily reach the 88 miles per hour needed to travel through time, they don't have an added flux capacitor like Doc Brown's famous DeLorean. DeLorean is correct. Great Scott. It looks like most of you got that one right. This is pretty heavy.
Here we go, number 8.
Ooh,
4 more.
It's time to travel to our next question. Question 8. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe takes place in what mythical land? Middle Earth, Narnia, or Florida?
Narnia.
In which completely made up place does The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe take place? Well, if it took place in Middle Earth, it would be called The Hobbit, The Ring, and the Incredibly Long Movies. And if it took place in the non-existent fantasy land called Florida, it would be called The Florida Man, The Bizarre Crime, and the Bath Salts. If it's not those two, then it has to be Narnia. The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe is the first of 7 books that C.S. Lewis, the Chronicles of Narnia series.
3 more questions.
All right, let's keep this thing going with question 9. Which of the following countries uses the metric system?
England.
The United States, Burma, or England?
Metric.
So, which of these 3 countries measures things in a reasonable and logical way? If you lived in the United States, you know that our primary units of measurement are either the size of a golf ball or the size of a football field. Like, how long should we make the airplane that will fly through the sky? Let's base everything off of the size of our feet. It's very stupid. The correct answer is England. If you chose Burma, I'm sorry. They're also one of the 3 countries in the entire world that doesn't use the metric system. Instead, they use their own 3rd system of measurement. Come on, guys. It makes so much more sense to use a system based on tens. England does it, and they still have a queen.
10, 11, 12, we got 3 more.
Speaking of measuring things in tens, it's time to move on to question 10. Nintendo started in 1889 as what type of company? Online gaming, playing card, or Italian plumber?
It wasn't online
You might
gaming.
know Nintendo as a video game company, but back in 1889, things were different. Benjamin Harrison was president, and people knew who Benjamin Harrison was. And Nintendo was known for... well, it sure wasn't online gaming. Video games may be rotting your brain if you thought online gaming has been around for 2 centuries. Yes, back in 1889, Nintendo was created as a playing card company. Nintendo didn't become an Italian plumber company until almost 100 years later in 1981, when Mario made his first appearance in the Donkey Kong arcade game. Ooh, we're getting slimmer now with a little over 1,000 winners playing their cards right on that last question. Well, on to the next one.
2 questions.
Question
left.
11. The first basketball hoops were made from what?
Peach baskets,
skeletons, or human hair?
Peach basket.
Which of these 3 materials were used for all of the first basketball hoops back in 1891? Well, they weren't made from skeletons. Ew, guys, really? They also weren't made from human hair. That is nasty. The correct answer is peach baskets. Yep, when basketball was invented, the hoops started as little peach baskets nailed to an elevated track without a backboard. Oh, wow, and we still have a little over 1,000 of you with the peach baskets. Congratulations. You are one question away from beating the queue. The clock has struck 12, guys. It's time for the final question.
See if we would have had a life. This is the final question, guys. Here we go. Here it is.
Let me remind you that the prize amount is $2,500. Think of how many individual items you could purchase at the dollar store with that kind of cash. What do you want to buy? A bunch of off-brand dish soap? Some knockoff cereal? Ooh, or those candies you can only find at your grandmother's house. The world can be your questionable oyster. Are you ready? The final question. What is Sleeping Beauty's given name? Aurora, Bella, or Jasmine?
I'm pretty sure it's Bella.
Ooh, believe it or not, Sleeping Beauty isn't her real name. If her actual name was that terrible, I think she'd probably be a baby in the Kardashian family. Ooh, that was bad, right? But it's true. So which one of these are the princess's real name? Well,
That's stupid. Let's see what the money went for. Oh, it was only $2.
If you're one of our around 1,000 winners, it's easy to withdraw your payday. Click the icon in the top right. Click withdraw and connect to your PayPal. Then kick your feet up and watch those commas be added to your bank account.